Nemesis follows the terrain so well and has so many whippy inversions, and the storyline behind it is amazing. Nemesis Inferno is so consistent with its speed, and it just follows that through the entire ride. I can definitely see why people like the other one, but for me, I prefer. Hello everyone and welcome back to a very controversial video. So the last time I did one of these something versus something videos, if you want to call that a series, we will. The last time I did one of these was Thorpe Park versus Alton Towers. I'll throw a clip up on screen and there will be a link in the top right. Oh god, I've just realised I'm wearing the exact same. I promised you. So on today's actually kind of one-sided, yet I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible debate, we have Nemesis or Nemesis Inferno. Of course, these are the only two B&M inverts in the UK, and they are very highly regarded. Nemesis at Alton Towers opening in 1994, Thorpe Park went and made their B&M invert named Nemesis Inferno in 2003. So basically, a lot of people think they've just copied the name, which is true, but they've added a volcanic theme onto it, so technically it's allowed. Coming in 2022, we have Nemesis Water at Legoland Windsor. And before I begin, I just want to say that I am one of those people who believes that had Nemesis Inferno just been called Inferno, or not even had anything to do with Nemesis, it probably would have been compared a lot less to the original. It still would have been compared because they're both B&M inverts, but a video like this wouldn't exist. This is content. I'm actually happy that they both get compared a lot. So, for once, on the DigitalDan YouTube channel, here on DigitalDan, we're actually going to be looking at some facts. I know, I'm amazed too. So Nemesis Inferno obviously has a height advantage over Nemesis, but in turn, Nemesis actually has a bigger drop. I know, that doesn't make any sense. But that's of course because Nemesis really doesn't go that high above ground level because it is all dug into the ground, whereas Inferno is obviously probably just flat ground, like when they first built it, and they've just gone up. They both have the same amount of inversions. I think the duration of them is very similar, if not Inferno's just a bit longer because of the pre-lift section, which is one of the best bits on the ride when the mist is working. Thorpe, next year, or no, this year, god, I did it again. For 2021, can we please have the mist back on Inferno? You are missed. Get it? Missed, yeah. And if you haven't realised, Inferno actually has 7 cars and Nemesis has 8. That means nothing to the... Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Now, I would sit here and claim that I knew all that off the top of my head. I have just used Wikipedia. So, first of all, don't trust me. Second of all, don't trust Wikipedia. So this time, like many other times, I took to Instagram, YouTube and Twitter to ask you guys what you thought in the Nemesis vs Inferno debate. Inferno, it has cool mist. See, at least someone agrees. We want the mist back, please. Next year, oh for God's sake, Nemesis, because the queues are always shorter. You raise a very good point. That is a very good point. It's definitely a lot more re-rideable probably. Nemesis, because, best point ever, I've never been on Inferno. You know what? Fair play. Nemesis. 0G roll? Wow! Into another tunnel?
Wow! You really think your feet are going to crack against them?
There's only one dead spot on Nemesis, but the entirety of Nemesis Inferno is a dead spot. I didn't know spots could die. It has to be the original Nemesis. Inferno's layout is uninspired, bland and very generic. The Nemesis is much more unique and uses the terrain really well. It still rides great after all these years. Fair enough, because the terrain on Nemesis, it literally feels like your feet are gonna crack against the rock. I like them about the same. They are both great rides. I agree with that. They are very similar, but I do prefer one over the other. Inferno because red. Neither I'd rather get to Raj's shop. Now, last video, if you did watch it, I did say that who is going to win the race to Raj's shop. And the strange thing is, there's nothing in the world stopping us. No one has got there yet. There's definitely not a lockdown going on. Nemesis, I feel the ride has more character and story and also feels better. And to that I would agree, the character and storyline behind Nemesis, with all the alien kind of station and how it's been repainted over the years as well. It might be one of the best storyline coasters we have in the UK if you actually look into it. But, of course, if you're going to the park, you're not going to sit there staring at the rocks thinking, there was once an alien egg underground. For that storyline, you could just go and ride Nemesis Subterra. Oh wait, I prefer Inferno. I kind of wish I preferred Nemesis because it's visually way better and definitely has a better layout, but Inferno rides so well. And to be fair, Ellie's pretty correct, because I'm sure that anyone who does prefer Inferno will realise that Nemesis, the original, looks a lot better with the way it goes into the ravines and all the tunnels and the groundwork behind it, because my god does that look a lot better than the Jungle Tree. Personally, I do slightly prefer Inferno, love the pre-lift section and volcano theme. To be honest, that pre-lift section, it just feels really atmospheric with how they've done the lighting, because it's a lot of red and orange and yellow, and you just come out and you still can't see because the mist is still in your eyes. Nemesis, obviously, because it actually makes you black out and is forceful. Thing is, Inferno's forceful too. As much as Nemesis is a bit more forceful, I think Nemesis Inferno does carry the force quite a bit. Give me 30 minutes, then check your... oh no. Oh no, Ollie, what have you done? Let me check. Alright, let's check that. Oh my god. Where do you have the time? Thank you so much to anyone who sent one in. I know I've literally gone through the smallest portion I could, but that is mainly because, of course, a lot of people will end up saying similar things because they are both just coasters. But of course, to end off this video in the style that I usually do, what is my opinion on the question? So we'll start off with Nemesis Inferno. Now, as people have mentioned, the pre-lift section is very unique compared to the original. It's a nice atmosphere when you have the mist on, and when you go into that lift hill, it's incredibly tall, and the height just, you can see across the entire park. It's an amazing view. Drop down, the bottom of the vertical loop is very intense. Each inversion on it is incredibly whippy, of course. You whip around one of the interlocking corkscrews, whip round a quick turn, then come back and do the other. It has some really good speed to it. Then of course we have the original Nemesis. Now, the main reason I'm going to give this praise is because the terrain and the way it interacts with it, because my god, do you get close to the rocks. I'm very surprised my feet don't hit them, because apparently I'm as tall as Lumberjump. But honestly, the way you go around some of those elements, you go into the downwards helix, and my god, my eyes start dripping. It's just all round an incredibly intense experience. So that brings me to my opinion now. Well, this video has probably made me seem like I prefer one more than the other, but I do actually prefer Nemesis Inferno. Please don't shoot me just yet. Now, I will admit, at the start of last year, tell me Nemesis or Inferno, and I would have said Nemesis. But recently, riding Inferno more, it's just so much faster in my opinion. The speed Inferno carries throughout the entire ride is just so good. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate Nemesis. I'm not one who's sitting here being like, oh, why do you like Nemesis? I honestly can respect people who do prefer Nemesis. I can respect that completely, because I was that same person. It's just the more I've ridden Inferno, the more I've started to prefer it. So there we go. I know I didn't go too much in depth into my opinion, but I've said it a lot elsewhere. Feel free to comment below what your opinion on the question is. Do you prefer Nemesis or Inferno? It'd be good to see your opinions if I haven't already. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.